Hey guys, today we are taking a look at ox, is what I'm calling this Troy-Bilt Horse. Because where I'm from, at least the history is, the oxes did most of the work. Oxen, I think. And this is probably a workhorse, which it is. It's actually a really cool unit. I'm gonna run you guys through it real swift. So while this thing is new to me, it's actually like 30 years old, but in reality, they've been making them for like 60 years. I think in the 60s they started. This is the 8 horsepower Kohler Magnum engine, which are apparently tanks. I bought this guy used from a retired machinist and millwright. So he was nerding out hard on it when I picked it up, which was awesome because he gave me a really good overview. And I want to share some of those things with you guys because these are just incredible machines. They're still made today. I believe it is the Troy-Bilt Big Red is their 8 horsepower motor. And they're friggin' expensive. They're like 4,500 bucks Canadian, Canuck bucks, new. Which means they're probably, low threes US, mid threes. So what's really cool about these things now, all I can see now is they're being sold with rototillers. And if you look down there, you'll see there's a little hookup. This is actually a PTO system, a power takeoff. And you can run a whole pile of attachments. Back in the day, they made lots of things for these things because they realized this itself, it's got a drive system that runs the wheels. It goes forward, it goes reverse, it's got a low and a high, and then it can just run whatever's off the power takeoff too. All you gotta do is literally that, and that engages the power takeoff. So you can run lots of things. For example, a wood chipper, right, Turbo? Yes, a wood chipper. And I just so happened to have grabbed one because he had one. It's in beautiful shape. It's upside down, but this is the screen, and you can just see it. It's a hammer mill kind of style, I believe, and it just shreds the crap out of stuff until it fits through those little things and falls out. And yeah, so you can run the chipper through here. I think it's a 3-inch, and then the shredder through the top for branches and things like that. And then it's also got a furrower. So when you're rototilling, you install that on, which is very simple, and it creates like a nice little hills, which I think is a big deal for potatoes. Anyways, it's an unbelievably cool unit. I'm pretty stoked to have it, and yeah, it starts like a hot dang. He serviced it all. He made sure everything was nicely in spec. It's just really sweet. So, I'll just show you how to operate it. And then I got a project planned for back over there. That'll be its own video though. It's basically just a garbage chunk that the previous owners of this ranch, they just left. They had equipment back there, they had fuel tanks back there, whatever, and a bunch of junk. So I'm going to, and now it's just like, it was a bunch of junk. I pulled all the wood out, but it's still a bunch of uneven, lumpy soil, and still a bit of junk I gotta pull out, and just a mess. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, till it all up, and then I got a landscape rake here, which we're gonna use to level out the soil. Then I'm gonna steamroll. I'm not actually gonna steamroll it. I've got a little baby Brutus lawn roller, or packer, basically like a mini steamroller, but steamrollers don't actually steam. It's kind of a misnomer. But anyways, one of those things. I'm gonna pack everything down nice, then lay down trampoline fabric because I just happen to have a source for scrap trampoline fabric, and no big deal. Lay that down as pseudo landscape fabric, and then pour some dirt or some rock over it with my mini dumper. Currently that rock is stuck in a truck. Anyways, I'm explaining the whole project. Not important. That's a different thing. Tangent. Anyways, project over there. You're going to see this thing in action real soon, but I thought I would just introduce it first in its own video for anyone who is interested in these things. So you can run this thing sideways, like if you're doing things in the yard, you're making rows, so you don't want to step behind it and step on your freshly tilled dirt. So you can step in the next row over that you haven't done yet. You simply have to be holding one of these levers for safety to keep it engaged. That's only when the PTO is engaged. It will let go of this, it'll just kill the engine. And it can be done from either side. Now you have a little throttle up here, so fast, slow, and then do this to just kill the engine. Don't try and start it. This is a note to those. From personal experience, don't try and start it when it's here, because it's, well, just give it a try and you'll see why. Anyways, there's that. This is your actual forward and reverse. So mine doesn't stay in reverse. I'm wondering if that's maybe like a safety feature so it doesn't run over you. You have to actually manually hold it up for it to stay in reverse. And then when you want to go forward though, it actually locks in gear. And that's this little dude right down there. That's how it works. You can actually see it's, you know, there's a shelf there for this to sit on to lock in to keep it going forward. No such thing exists on the reverse side. Again, I'm thinking that's just a safety mechanism because you don't want this to keep going if you back into something. That will just automatically disengage. So there's that. And then there's a separate gear function over here, which is your speed. So you can either freewheel. It's in freewheel right now. He actually marked it. Focus over there, please. But N with those lines, that's neutral. So that means I can just push this thing around and freewheel it. This thing does weigh like 350 pounds though, so it's a bit of a monster. But you can pop it into low. It's not putting it into low, you gotta, don't force it, freewheel it a little bit until the gears align, or full speed ahead. And again, that puts it in those gears. Forward, reverse, you're good to go. So very simple. This one's also got an electric starter, which is pretty cool. And so if you want to do that, you would just do that. However, the battery is kind of toast. That's okay. There's a recoil starter as well. And this thing starts on like the second pull. So it's fantastic. You can also adjust, there's a lot of adjustment in the way the handles work and even where it's positioned. Because if you want to run side hills, you can literally have this whole thing tilted over and tilted down. So if you turn this guy right here, there's an actual part you can buy that connects down there, or this guy just made it. But you loosen this off, you can see these mesh teeth in there. You can basically just allows you to turn this whole thing over so the handlebars can be offset to the side. And likewise, this handle here allows you to loosen this, and same kind of deal, interlocking mesh teeth, and that allows you to just kind of tilt and pivot the handlebar as well. So you can set this up ergonomically for however you need. Anyways, I'm just kind of nerding out. I think it's super cool. That's the machine. You'll see me start it and use it in that other project. Oh, last thing. Right now it's set up just on travel mode. The tines here are above this. And again, you can drive this thing around. You just don't engage a PTO because this is literally like a little, you know, rear PTO off a tractor, garden tractor, whatever, small tractor, utility tractor. Tractor. So it's not going to do anything unless it's actually engaged. So then when you do engage it, you have to release this guy. This is your depth gauge. So you can just set it anywhere in between there and there. I think it'll till up to 7 inches down, and that's the deal. That's Ox, my Troy-Bilt horse from the early 90s. Another thing I'm planning on using this a lot for is trail building. In conjunction with my little roller. I'm gonna run this through. There's lots of pasture land here. We got a little river down there. It's relatively flat, which is good because it's gonna be hard to get the steamroller anywhere where there's inclines. But yeah, my plan is to just till up around the river and then go in with the roller and pack it all down nice. That way weeds won't grow. When you do till, this is a note to you guys, when you till, you know, undisturbed virgin soil, more or less, which is there's a ton of natural prairie soil out here, which is nice. I love the prairie grasses. You don't get weeds in them because the prairie grasses are so firmly taken root. And I love when you till that up, you're now allowing dormant weed seeds and things to grow, and they can quickly displace your native grasses. So beware of that. That's why I plan to come in and pack it down real hard right away, because it's hard for things to grow in very compacted soil. And I essentially want long-term trails that I can use all year round for passive enjoyment, walking my dogs, riding things like that, and that's the plan. I don't need to do that. You can get by, you can just hike, but it's nice if they're smooth. So we'll see. Rome wasn't built in a day. That'll be a longer term project, but that's something I plan on doing on the ranch. So if you like the idea of that and the other kind of projects I got going on, like, subscribe, do the things that we all ask you to do. And that's what we'll do. Cheers, guys. Catch you in the next one.